Hi, first graders. It's time to read some Magic Tree House. Where we last left Jack and Annie, they went with Slim to go and get his horses back. And now they're all riding away. And Jack is riding Dusty, this horse here, all by himself, which he was a little bit nervous about. So let's see how it goes for them. We are on chapter 7. It's called Ghost Story. Oh, you know what? We should reread. Do you remember what happened at the very, very end? As Jack struggled, he heard shouts from the rustlers. Their horses gave high-pitched neighs. Jack looked back. A shimmering white figure was moving across the top of the rise. The rustlers' horses were panicking and backing away. Jack didn't have time to think about what he was seeing. He knew it might be his only chance to escape. Using all his strength, he pulled himself into the saddle. "Go, Dusty, go!" he shouted. Dusty took off at a full gallop over the prairie. Jack held on for dear life as they split the wind. So he saw something shimmering and white. What do you think it is? Jack bounced in the saddle. He felt the cool night wind against his face. He couldn't tell where they were going, but he trusted Dusty to follow the others. Finally, Dusty caught up with the herd as they began to slow down. Jack snapped his reins, and Dusty came up beside Slim and Annie. "Howdy," said Slim. "Howdy," said Jack. "Howdy," said Annie. "Are you okay?" Jack pushed his glasses into place. "Yup," he said. "You?" "That was some good riding, Shorty," said Slim. "Thanks," said Jack, smiling. He even liked being called Shorty now. "Where are we headed, boss?" Jack asked Slim. "Blue Canyon," said Slim. "Okay with you?" "Yup," said Jack. "This way." Slim slapped his horse and they all speeded up again. Slim steered the herd to the left. Soon he led them through a deep, narrow pass. Finally, they came to a boxy open space, surrounded by walls of rocks and lit by moonlight. "We'll corral the Mustangs here in Blue Canyon," Slim said. He got off his horse. He helped Jack down. Annie slipped off Sunset. "Take him to his ma," Slim told Annie. Annie led Sunset to the mare. In the moonlight, the two Mustangs rubbed their necks against each other and neighed. As Jack patted Dusty's damp neck, he remembered the last two rules: praise and reward. "Thanks," he whispered to Dusty. "You were great. You were super great." Slim unsaddled Dusty, then handed Jack his saddlebags. "Take those over to that grassy spot. We'll camp there." Jack carried the saddlebags, and his boots felt stiff and tight. His legs were sore and wobbly, but he didn't mind. He threw down the saddlebags and his backpack. Then he flopped himself down. He was very tired. Annie joined him. "They seem so happy to be free and together again," she said, looking up at the Mustangs. "Yup," said Jack. He lay back using his backpack as a pillow. He looked up at the stars. "If we just had the answer to that riddle, everything would be perfect," he said. "Yeah," said Annie. "Hey, Slim," he called. "I have a question for you." "Go ahead," said Slim. "Do you know the answer to this riddle?" "Out of the blue, my lonely voice calls out to you. Who am I? Slim was silent for a moment. Then he said, "Sorry, Shorty. Don't know that one." Jack's heart sank. "That's okay," he said. "We don't either." "I have a question too," said Annie. "Why does the piano in the hotel play by itself?" "I do know the answer to that one," said Slim. So they're all sitting by the campfire, and then the horses, you can see their shadows in the background. "What is it?" said Annie. "It's Lonesome Luke," said Slim. "He's a ghost of a cowboy who wanders the prairie." Jack sat straight up. I saw him! I just remembered. He scared the rustlers. If he hadn't come, I never would have gotten away. Oh, yeah, Slim laughed. Well, lucky for us, Lonesome Luke sometimes likes to help folks out. Slim threw his saddle down next to Jack and Annie and sat against it. Years ago, Lonesome Luke had a gal he was just crazy about, said Slim. She couldn't take the Wild West, though, so she went back east. What happened then? Asked Jack. Luke went loco. Every night he'd show up at the hotel and play the piano. He played Red River Valley over and over. Then one night he just vanished into the prairie and was never seen alive again. His bones were found a year later, but folks say his ghost returns to the hotel piano to play Red River Valley. And it goes like this. Slim took out his harmonica and began to play a song. His harmonica is this instrument that he has right here. It was the same sad song Jack and Annie had heard in the hotel. Jack laid back down and listened to the lonesome tune. A coyote howled in the distance. The horses stirred in the dark. I better take some notes, said Jack, but he didn't write a word before he fell asleep. He didn't even take off his boots. Do you think there's really a ghost in this ghost town? Our next chapter is chapter 8, and it's going to be called, Who Am I? We'll have to find out tomorrow. Thanks for reading with me, first grade. Goodbye.